tell you today is actually to tell you guys what is this Zencoso ball all about. So let me begin. We all need a very, very healthy metabolism, very, very good metabolism. So this metabolism actually is being decided by our body various enzymes. So this enzyme, what are all these enzymes doing? Actually, as you can see here, enzymes help us to convert the food into energy, to discharge our toxic waste in the body, and as well as to control different biochemical reaction in the body, such as, when we are thinking, we are sleeping, we are breathing, all this actually decides by our enzyme activity, and also to maintain our cell activity. Sometimes when you feel tired, when you feel energetic, it is all actually decided by our enzyme activity. So what are the factor? What will happen? Actually, I should say, what will happen when our enzymes start to slow down, start to be depleted? This Nobel Prize winner in chemistry 1997, this Professor Paul Boyle, he once said that our human body is like a light bulb, and our enzyme is like electric current. If let's say we don't have this electric current supply, so our light bulb, our body is like just like a light bulb, is not being illuminated. So this is how important between human body and as well as with the enzyme. So what are the factors will cause us to have this inactive enzyme or the enzyme being depleted? So these are the few factors that you can see here that, let's say we are having, we are practicing unhealthy lifestyle, like what? Smoking, alcoholic, and late sleep, or don't sleep. So all these kind of things will cause us to have inactive enzyme or depleting our enzyme activity. As well as what? Fully cooked food or highly processed food, like canned food, like deep fried food, like all the fast food, all these kind of things, or carbonated drink, all these kind of fast food, all this high sugar drink, all this kind of food is actually going to deplete our enzyme, is going to destroy the structure of the enzyme structure. So it will actually cause our depletion of our enzyme. And also on top of this, what is this? Is stress. Everyone is living under stress now, especially economic crisis. A lot of people getting retrenched, all this stuff actually causing many people that to have this. Once we get stressed, that enzyme activity will go down. This is one of the factors that causing our enzyme to slow down. And what else? Environmental pollution. As you can see here, when we have all this environmental pollution, be it in the air or in the water, all this pollution will actually create inhibitor. We call it inhibitor into our body. So when this come to our body, then there will be a lot of free radical being produced. Once this free radical produced, it will eventually lead to the destroy of our enzyme activity or structure. So another thing is diseases. Any diseases causing the raise of our body temperature will eventually lead to depletion of the enzyme, destruction of the enzyme structure. So this is important. Of course, another factor is unavoidable is what? Pregnancy. Because during pregnancy, we need a lot of energy. When we have all this, we need extra energy to conceive a baby. So it is going to lead to depletion of enzyme. So what else? So what will happen when we have depletion of the enzyme, we have inactive enzyme activity? So what will happen? It will actually cause us to have slower metabolism. So what will happen? Usually when we have slower metabolism, our body tend to be tired, lethargy, feel more sleepy. So not only that, because once we have this energy exhaustion, then slowly we will feel what? Indigestion. Indigestion, we feel, bloated tummy. You feel like, whatever you have eaten is not being digested. Then probably you may have constipation. All these kind of symptoms start to accumulate in our body. And as well as what? In the longer run, we have what? Start to have fat accumulation. When we start to have fat accumulation, people may think that it's just being, I don't exercise good enough, often enough. Actually, it's not only that. It is actually a signal telling us that our body metabolism is slowing down and the enzyme is getting more and more inactive. So, of course, slowly from this fat accumulation, it will actually lead to a more serious condition, which is called what? A risk of pre-diabetic, or probably high cholesterol, or probably slowly we are getting high blood pressure. And eventually, this is actually more scary, toxin accumulation. So you see, actually it's just like a chain. It is affecting one after another. Okay, so how can we actually prevent this? This is important. How can we actually prevent this? We encourage people, if we want to have a healthy lifestyle, a healthy body, healthier body. So we encourage everyone to take more raw food. Okay, what will happen when we take more raw food? We are going to have high enzyme, high food enzyme in our food. Okay, so when we intake it, our body will tend to secrete lesser of digestive enzyme. And at the same time, our body is able to secrete more of the metabolic enzyme. So when our body secrete more metabolic enzyme, then our body can secrete more toxin out. So less toxin accumulated. So what happened when we take so much of cooked food with very, very little of food enzyme in here, then our body needs to what? Secrete a lot of digestive enzyme to digest it because lack of food enzyme. So at the same time, we are really, really incapable of secrete more of the metabolic enzyme because in a ratio. Okay, so metabolic enzyme lesser, what will happen? So our body tend to metabolize slower. So much toxin will be accumulated in our body. So eventually then we will be, slow down of metabolism, then toxin accumulation, then eventually we get sick. All right. So this is a chain reaction, but it doesn't happen in 1 or 2 nights time. It happened over 10 years, 20 years. So you can see that all these metabolic syndrome like diabetes, high cholesterol, high blood pressure, all these kind of metabolic syndrome, usually it happens over the 10, 20 years minimum to see what happened, to see what actually effects on our body. So today, that's why there are many people saying that it is rather almost impossible for nowadays that we are going to have to take all the raw vegetable, all the raw fruits, taking every day is really, really hard for us. So that is the reason that we are going to launch this. This is what? This is our Zencoso chewable ball. In short, Zencoso ball. What is this? This is the essence of 98 types of integrated this energy of 8 years, 8 phenomena of 4 seasons to create this natural fermented plant extract. Give a round of applause. So it has 5 main uniqueness. Okay, 5 main uniqueness. What are these? I will go through one by one with you. Don't worry. So number first is what? Is actually this 98 types of plant. It is from the both end of this earth. What is this? One country is Brazil. Why do we choose Brazil? Well, why do we choose the plant from Brazil? It is because first, it has a very huge rainforest, tropical rainforest. The climate is hot and humid, and at the same time, temperature 19 to 30 degrees Celsius. And the water supply for all these plants is very unique. You can see here more than 2,000 of rock filtration. That's why the water supply for all these plants is very pure, unpolluted, and very high in mineral. So at the same time, not only that, we are choosing from another country. What is this? This is great, fantastic. We are choosing plant also from Japan. You can see here from Japan. The country here actually is in the Pacific Rim of Fire, meaning in a volcano ring. All right. So actually the soil here is full of mineral. Okay. And the climate is 4 seasons, and temperature is from -2 degrees Celsius to 26 degrees Celsius. And the water supply is also really rich in mineral. So can you imagine, in the past, we used to say enzyme is really good, Zencoso also really good. But today, we have upgraded the Zencoso into Zencoso ball, in which we no longer just take the plant from Japan. We take the plant from Brazil and Japan, which come from 2 extreme different climate on the earth. Wow, isn't it great? And these 98 types of plant blend into one ball. You can see here. So what are these 98 types of plant? You can see here is 38 types of fruits from both countries. You can see here the brown, the black colored fruits plants is actually from both countries. Red color terms is actually from Japan, and the green color fruits is actually from Brazil. Okay, so 38 types of fruits, 17 types of vegetables, 20 types of different grains, and as well as 11 types of botanical plant, and last but not least, 12 types of other ingredients, including Okinawa brown sugar. Wow, that is really good, because we are using this Okinawa brown sugar because it is very low in glycemic index. So even a diabetic patient also can consume it, no problem. And the second uniqueness is actually it is 8 years of fermentation. It's here. It is 8 years of fermentation. What is it? Why? Because today we take tropical plant from Brazil and 4 season plant from Japan, and we incorporate together, combine, and leverage it into a 8 years of complete natural fermentation. So what we have been using is this Japanese traditional natural fermentation technology since 1979, and complete with this 8 years of natural fermentation and whatever coenzyme and cofactor within the Zencoso ball, it is going to wake up our enzyme in our body so that they can start to activate our healthy metabolism. Isn't that really great? Of course. The third uniqueness is, after going through the whole 8 years of complete fermentation, like what I said just now, you can see here. So our enzyme probably used to become slowed down already, or also depleted already. So when our Zencoso ball start to absorb, the essence start to absorb by our body, then the coenzyme and cofactor start to activate back our enzyme, to call up our enzyme, to exercise them, to train them out, and they start to work again. Isn't that really fantastic? And also another thing is, the fourth uniqueness is our Japanese unique traditional fermentation technology. to make our Zencoso into Zencoso ball form. So why do we need the ball? It is because very easy to carry. We are no longer worried to carry overseas, especially because once we need to travel, a lot of time we cannot carry together with us, and we are worried about leaking. So now we don't have this kind of worry anymore, and easy to carry. And most important thing is actually this chewable form. This chewable form actually enable us, when we put into mouth, it start with our saliva start to come out with the enzyme, and we start to absorb the accent from the mouth onward. And slowly, when we start to chew, it actually activate our esophagus and our stomach, our colon, our small colon, so that all start to secrete enzyme. So, and it also help with bowel movement, as well as when we start chewing it, we are going to activate the blood circulation in the brain. So it has so many benefits of it. All right. So there are also many clinical study has been going on this Zencoso ball. What including it helps with our this antioxidant, very high antioxidant. And like what I said just now, it also helps with our bowel movement, and it also can be can improve certain conditions such as blood glucose, cholesterol, blood pressure, etc. And also it helps with conditions such as blood viscosity. All right. So there are certain our IPO are already so blessed that they could have a trial before it was launched. Okay, let's have a look. This is one of our member here. His name is Sam. So Sam actually was having a problem with high glucose. Of course, I think the doctor actually diagnosed him as diabetic already. Then, as well as he has a problem with his indigestion, constipation, etc. So what happened is when he started to consume our Zencoso ball, before consuming it, his blood glucose, you can see here, his blood glucose is 21.3. Blood glucose 21.3, empty stomach. Just imagine it, it's really sky high. Actually, his hand, all four limbs of his already start getting numb. And just within 2 months after he consumed our Zencoso ball, then you can see that his blood glucose, empty stomach blood glucose already dropped to 8.6. Wow, really fantastic. And his numbness and his bloatedness and all the symptoms has become improved and much improved. All right. And also another condition, also you can see that this is another of the testimonial from the customer themselves. You can see that I must show you guys. You can see that the blood glucose was actually 19.3 empty stomach. When consumed after food, the blood glucose has become 27.4. So what happened is when she started taking the Zencoso ball, after 3 days only, it drops empty stomach blood glucose, it dropped to 60.7. And after 1.5 months, it dropped to 9.6. My God, and not only that, you can see that her foot over past 1.5 months, actually her feet already start turning black color, and the black pigmentation also start to surface out. But surprisingly, 1.5 months later, all these things has slowly faded off. Wow, that is really something. And also this is actually in Mandarin. I will actually explain that. And this person actually having having a reflux of gastric acid. But after how long? After 2 weeks, then she's getting better. And after 1 month later, she already slowly, she doesn't feel it anymore. And because of this reflux gastric reflux problem. She has been experiencing it for many years. By just 1.5 months of Zencoso, she has got so much better. Let's have a look at another one. So this one is actually during pregnancy. So even pregnant mommy, they can take it. So you can see here from the very beginning, she was having this starting to get higher of blood sugar, 7.5 anti-stomach. So when she start taking it, how long? 1 point, okay. So you can see that after taking it for almost a month later, then she got better with her blood glucose 5.9. And what's amazing is she used to have this. You can see that when she press her ankle part, she has a water retention problem. But after taking Zencoso ball, she no longer experienced water retention during her pregnancy. This is her 5th month of pregnancy. So today, what I want to say is, doesn't matter whoever you are a small kid, it helps with, mineral, vitamin, nutrient absorption for better energy. If let's say for adult, you have a better metabolism. For senior citizen, you also have better metabolism. And it is even better for pregnant mommy. All right. So that's all for my sharing today. So when is it going to launch? I will mention it once again. It is going to have a soft launch on tomorrow, 7th of May. Noon time, 1:30 Malaysia time, 1:30 p.m. So stay tuned to all our BE2U or BOS website. If you are not our IBO yet, please faster contact us, contact our BNs to get to know any further. All right. So that's all for my sharing. Thank you very much. Bye bye. Have a good day.